I disappoint myself. We didn't get
Is
to
that
do the
some,
thing where I'd start the episode without you guys knowing, and you churn about nonsense for a while.
I don't think disappointing yourself is anything new, though.
Okay, well, that was surprising and mean, especially coming from...
uh, oh.
He's got to work his stress out. He's working with kids now. I get it. It's fine.
Hey, you know what? Let's just freaking Ethan tagging me in NSFW. What, like, and then it's just like that's the first day I started substitute teaching. I was on my lunch break though, but I saw that tag. I was like, "Why are you doing this?"
So, welcome to Fandom Flux Podcast, episode 278. Fandom Flux engages in inadvisable stress relief. Probably not. Too long-winded.
Yeah, there is a... Well, not really a character limit on YouTube videos, but, like, a suggestion of, hey, this is a long-ass video title. Maybe cut it down a little bit, so... yeah, so I'm here. Hi. In a good mood, vaguely, because got a lot of work done over the past couple of days. And we have Zero.
I'm a substitute teacher now.
Yeah.
Now I get to go into your classroom and badly do the lesson.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so weird being on the other side of things, you know, like when you're a kid and the substitute comes, it's like, yay, substitute. And then I substitute. It's like, oh no, substitute. I'm the substitute. What?
Yeah.
This lesson plan is missing a bunch of important details. It makes a lot of assumptions of information.
Yeah. And
It
basically,
was-
your job for the day is to just have the kids fuck with you for the entire day and then go home and forget about it.
And remember, and just take sauce in the fact that you got paid $125.
That's not bad for a day work.
Yeah, I
That's
agree.
pretty good, actually. If I get like long-term employment, I get paid like twice as much.
Ooh.
But yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Just keep it up.
Also, Patience
Yeah.
here. I was in the middle of introductions, but, you know, that's okay. Patient, hi.
Hello.
Hi. How's it going?
Hi. Going pretty well, thank you.
Yeah.
Everyone's in a, like... It's unfortunate because everyone's kind of in a good mood, but also in a kind of chill mood, so we're not exactly entertaining.
Well, hey, I just want to bring this up. So Outer Worlds just came out, right?
Mm-hmm. Totally
You guys see it? You guys see the news last week about the whole thing with Bethesda being like, "Hey, everybody, Fallout 76 fans, you want to pay $100 annual subscription?"
Oh god, I love that. Yeah.
Fallout 76, a notoriously broken game of pay $100 for an annual subscription, and here's what you get: the ability to play alone or with friends, rather than just random strangers.
So basically the
Well,
same experience because each instance of the server is about 24 people on it, on a giant map, so you never see anyone anyway, but sure.
you and 7 friends. Wow, thanks, Bethesda. You're so great. Oh, also don't forget, you get a scrap box that has unlimited storage for all of your loot.
Unlimited storage because it empties itself every time you put stuff in it.
So, these are the two main features and some cosmetics. So yes, the scrap box deletes all of your stuff when you put it in. So
Yep.
people put in all of their hard-won loot, stuff they got from raids, and it just vanished.
Well, I mean, it's technically not false advertising. It will never be full.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, also the private worlds aren't actually private, newly created worlds. They're old worlds that people have already been in and looted and killed NPCs and such in. And also, your friends, anybody on your friend list can join at any time without your permission. $100 a year. That came out 2 days before Outer Worlds.
I'm of two minds on this whole thing. Like, on the one hand, it's hilarious. On the other, people are getting way out of hand on this shit. Like, okay, Fallout 76 is a garbage fire. It is well known at this point. If people are playing it still, they are literally asking for it.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
there's no excuse anymore. But people are also going way further and being like, hey, let's boycott Bethesda for being so awful. Like EA and Activision Blizzard and yeah, that's not the same thing at all. Like they made a bad game. Okay, don't play the game then.
they made a bad game, and the $100 annual thing is clearly a desperate cash grab to make some money back on this. That being said, it's still disgusting and I think entirely disappointing and removes what little faith people had left in Bethesda. Because Fallout 76 had faded after the whole Fallout 76 that had faded into the background. That was just a bad game, and then they had to bring it back up, and with bad microtransaction DLC stuff, which
yeah, but it's still a bad game continuing to be a bad game.
Yeah, I'm not saying necessarily like, oh, boycott Bethesda. I'm just saying the decision, like if you're gonna charge $100 a year, at least deliver something that works. You know, that's the one thing you can't really screw up is when you offer a subscription service and the two main features that you're selling people don't even work properly.
I mean, again,
that has been rushed out the door.
That's literally the same thing as just releasing a bad broken game, though.
Yeah, it's just piling on the bad. That being said, I was kind of just like, yeah, like when I saw that, my brain went like, okay, Elder Scrolls 6 is never going to come out.
Oh well, yeah. For as much as the complaining is insane at this point, for a game 99.9% of the people complaining don't actually play. The rest of the company will do fine. They will still continue to sell games. Like Doom came out recently, didn't it, or something? Or it's coming out soon?
No, it's coming out soon.
That will sell well. They won't care. They'll keep going. And yeah, I guess some of the shine has come off of Bethesda, and it's like, okay, customers are remembering that caveat emptor is a thing. You know, buyer beware. Don't just fucking buy a game because you like the name of the company because they made other good stuff. Sometimes they can make bad stuff too.
Yeah, and I agree. I like what I'm trying to get at here is the frustration I felt towards that situation was what led me to be like, you know what? I am going to go buy Outer Worlds. I'm not going to wait for that for like Christmas or something. I'm just going to go buy that. You know, I got paid. Might as well. And that game is people have been calling it like a spiritual successor to Fallout New Vegas. The writing is really fun. It's really good. It's very much, if you liked New Vegas, you'll like this, and it's even better. I've been playing through that game for a lot of, like, since Friday. and I have not encountered any major bugs or glitches at all. I haven't. The game hasn't crashed at all. In fact, the game is downright gorgeous and fun to play.
Yeah, they like to advertise that game with that whole from the original creators of Fallout thing, which is technically true if you really squint. Like, it's Obsidian, right, that made it?
Yes.
Yeah. Obsidian is mostly the people that made Fallout 2, not really Fallout 1. That was a different thing. So they're responsible for what I'd call the wackiness of Fallout. The first game was actually pretty self-serious most of the time. The second game got a little bonkers. So I like the idea of them just creating a brand new setting, starting from scratch, no baggage of seriousness hanging on it. They can, if they want to be silly, they can be fucking silly, and it's fine, and it just fits with a cohesive setting.
And it works. So the whole premise of the story is you're sent to colonize the outer worlds in the kind of Halcyon galaxy.
Sorry, what? Your squeaking chair got the whole of that mic right there.
I had to move. You're being sent out with a bunch of colonists to the Halcyon system. And your ship doesn't quite make it. So you're left in basically cryostasis for 70 years. And eventually you get let out, and corporations have kind of taken over the entire system. And there's a lot of... I'm 2 promotions away from getting on-the-job bathroom breaks.
Okay, that's pretty good.
It's really silly. Lots of good humor. Lots of good character writing. I've been enjoying that. Although, like, there's that feeling of, corporation bad. At the same time, it's like the individual people that are forced to work in this system aren't bad. They shouldn't have to suffer for what the higher ups are doing. And there's a lot of nuance there that, although it is kind of, funny humor on the surface, there's a lot of nuance to it that I like. And you have your companions, and they each actually have, once you upgrade your companions' skills, your skills for leadership, I believe, you get the ability for them to do special moves in which the camera cuts over to them and they do their slow motion move, or you have the vicar who says a line because he's religious for this whole plan, and he says this whole cool religious line, and he shoots them with a shotgun blast, even though his gun isn't even a shotgun, or something like that. They all have special moves, and that's always fun. And each character also chips in a lot during conversations with other characters, and then the NPCs are going to respond to them, and it feels very immersive.
From the writing standpoint, it sounds like Borderlands, except if Borderlands was...
There's a very Borderlands feel to it, yeah.
Yeah, a Borderlands 2 rather than a Borderlands 3.
And the writing is, the game design itself is very smart. There's always multiple ways to tackle any individual problem, which I very much enjoy. Multiple factions that you can choose to side with. And so many, the NPCs will remember what information you give them. So if you lie to them and then casually pick a dialogue option that goes against something you had previously said, they'll call you out on it.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I like that.
So you got to keep your facts straight.
This is apparently a game for me, because I used to be very good at that. I don't know whether I still am. I try not to lie.
So There's a skill just called lie, which is fun.
Hmm.
And also your dialogue skills give you buffs in combat. So if you have your persuasion and your charisma and all that pumped up, when you shoot somebody or hit somebody, there's a chance for them to be stuck in like a terror state because you have just so much overwhelming charisma. Everything kind of flows together in a very nice way. And I've been enjoying my time with it. It's not like one big world, but a bunch of different smaller worlds with your ship being kind of the hub.
Hmm.
Which is nice.
It's going to be a strange experience. I'm going to have to buy a game on the Microsoft PC store.
I got it on PS4.
Yeah, because like fuck, I'm going to buy anything on Epic. Like that client will never be on my system.
Just $1 for Game Pass for 1 month, and then boom, you're good.
So yeah, I shall have to get that at some point.
Yeah,
right up my street.
Very smartly written. Always, I like a lot of the world design and it feels like a good Fallout game, and that makes me happy. Obviously, I'm not finished with it yet. I believe I'm also missing a companion, and there's like 4 other worlds I haven't been to. But even so, I have a top hat.
Top hat's pretty good.
And it's called a nice hat.
It's a nice hat.
And it gives me a bonus to leadership and persuasion, as it should.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoy it. So that was kind of the major thing for my week, because I guess we're doing weeks.
Yeah.
We kind of float into
give
it.
you a bonus to style with 3 Ys. Style. Yeah, sorry.
There's also fun like science weapons you can get. Like one of the first science weapons you get is a shrink ray, which just you point it at your enemy and it just deals continuous damage. They become small, and it's just it's wacky.
I can say wacky fun stuff from Fallout for these guys. So it makes sense that they would do that kind of thing in their own setting. Also, now that they don't have Chris Avallone on staff, and he had a tendency to bring down the mood a little bit, so that was...
There's this whole quest where the townsfolk they have to pay rent fees for graves or whatever, and you go to one person, it's like, well, I'm sorry for your loss, because you're collecting the grave fees. It's like, was he a relative? It's like, oh, we're not related. I was just relatively close to him when he died. No, I don't care about him at all. But he shot himself, and that goes against company violations. So we all have to kind of pay for it because he committed vandalism because he's company property. Yeah, that's the kind of humor you're getting into.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. I've been enjoying that. Substitute teaching. I substituted for my first time. And boy, was that it was something. It started out not so great because I wasn't prepared. They called me that morning and I said no. And then I was going to go volunteer in my mom's classroom. And she's like, "You said no?" And I said, "Yeah," I kind of panicked. And so she's like, "Well, you're going to go." So I went and I substitute taught. It was first grade. And at first it was kind of bad, but you get used to it. And then you realize that you can't just play with the kids. You gotta use your teacher voice. And then you use your teacher voice and your teacher stare. And then you have the power.
Okay.
But no, the kids loved me. They all wanted to, like, it was a fun Friday, which means they get the last 45 minutes to just play, and they all wanted to show me things and judge their art contests.
Oh, that's
And
adorable.
yeah, they gave me their drawings. But yeah, it was great. Aside from all that, let me see. What else did I do of consequence or note this week? I'm trying to. I thought I had something else, but I'm drawing a complete and total blank. Yeah. That's it for me.
Okay. Patient, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty well, all things considered.
Yeah.
Aside from what I mentioned previously, which is not to be mentioned here, of course. The past week has been pretty normal at work. Struggling to hit my quota for the month, and hoping that I can do so in the next few days. Definitely possible, but, well, it's still a game of luck trying to get people to open new bank accounts. I still really don't like that. But I seem to be doing quite well. 3 days ago was the company's quarterly celebration, and I was named Employee of the Month for August. And mind you, that's out of everyone in the entire Austin market. Over 100 people, and somehow I was qualified enough to be given that award.
Guess they don't hold grudges for the whole trying to find another job thing.
No. I mean, that's just... I'd assume that that's just a standard thing. But, yeah, the one aspect of this job that I definitely take pride in is my customer service, and it seems that more than a few instances made it to the hires up and got me appointed as Employee of the Month for one of the past few months. So, yeah, I'm happy about that. Came with a nice plaque, or a nice award in a frame, whatever you'd call that, if not a plaque, along with a $200 bonus and a paid day off.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. The Employee of the Month award is pretty coveted due to that reason. Still, I never would have expected it. I just do the best that I can, and I'm just glad that it turned out so well this time. Not much more to remark on besides that. It's been a pretty uneventful week for me. Just going through work, going through... oh yeah, we posted the most recent chapter of this Bites last Sunday.
Yes, I read that.
And...
It's been a week. In fairness. That was a long, pregnant pause there. I liked it. Fine. It probably wasn't as much of a watershed moment, maybe, as you were going for.
Watershed.
Yeah, thing happens and then everything changes and is completely different.
Well, I mean, that was... No, that's coming in the next chapter when we get around to writing it. This was just more of a... This was meant to be more of a horror show than anything else.
Oh right, yeah. Okay, the reveal of that was pretty good. Yeah, that was
Thanks.
pretty great. The stuff that happened in that was, yeah. At the same time of like remembering the thing that I really liked about it, I can't actually talk about it because it's spoilery as fuck. So
Oh, yes. What of it? All right, so yeah, that was fun. Well, aside from the fact that Somniac decided to post it before I could properly proofread it, because we discussed this actually. I was on my way back home from church. He posted it after Hornet was finished doing his proofreading read through, which normally I do a proofreading read through as well. But he's just really passionate about his work, is the conclusion that we've come to. Not so much impatient as just really eager to get it out there, and I definitely understand that. I was a fan of the story before I was a part of it.
I'd argue those are very similar things as a person that also, I'm going to say, used to do that before I realized, hey, I need a backlog of stuff to release. So, yeah.
As I also am with Casey on this one. There's a lot of stories I wish that I had maybe waited on a little bit.
Well, that's why I'm typically here to rein in some of his passion and refine it a bit.
Yeah, it's good to have someone that can do that because, yeah, like the commission stuff I've been doing, and it's like, yay, I finally got it done. This chapter's really been fighting me. I'm gonna send it right now to the guy.
No.
That last scene was garbage. I need to fix that crap. Yeah, such realizations tend to happen after I do the stupid thing, and yeah. You don't think about it in the moment. You just want to celebrate. Hey, I did the thing. It's good, but it's not as good as you think it is because you haven't looked it over properly yet.
Yeah. But yeah, that's basically the big two highlights of this week. It's just been just pretty mundane and restful. Persona 5 The Royal comes out in Japan in 4 days, and I'm going to have to refrain from browsing the internet too much for the next 5 months to avoid serious spoilers.
Yep, I got spoiled on something already, so yeah, that happens. But it was in a trailer. I don't care. I don't want to know. And you posted it in the Discord where I am guaranteed to see it. Oh.
Well, I honestly, I consider it spoilered enough that the new playable character that they've been advertising oh so much, that I know about that. But I mean, they've been blabbing it from the start, and probably just like in the original Persona Fall, the character is going to be on the box art and title screen and opening sequence, so can't really spoil. You can't really consider that a spoiler, no matter how much you might want to.
Yeah. She was in the announcement trailer, let alone anything else, so.
So, yeah. Looking forward to that in March, but for the time being, I think the next big game that's coming out is Pokemon Shield, which Zom and Wes have already pre-ordered for me as a birthday present.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Pre-ordered it several months ago, so I get that I get that special Meowth.
I have since I did get the Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu. That means that when I get Pokemon Sword, I get the fat.
You get the
This
what?
is all the fat Pikachu. Did you see the fat Pikachu?
Oh god, really? Do I need to buy fucking Let's Go Pikachu now? Is that a thing
No,
I need to
no,
do
no, no.
so I
You
can...
just you need to see the fat Pikachu. Okay.
You know what that is? It's honestly kind of nostalgic for what Pikachu looked like in the
Oh,
anime. Minus the tail. That's obviously something completely different.
look at this. The fat Pikachu.
Yeah. He absolutely used to look like that in the original game. And
Oh
yeah,
Lord,
I
he
want.
coming.
Yeah, I want.
So you know what? I'm happy they gave me the fat Pikachu. That's all.
But they were really kind to Butterfree and Charizard. I mean, look at this.
Butterfree has. Oh, okay. So we all know Butterfree is.
Okay,
What?
you're having some problems there, Zero.
Um,
Try,
sorry.
try again.
We all know that Butterfree is Mothra.
I mean, it's a butterfly. I would say Venomoth or perhaps
They're
Dustox would be
they're
Mothra, but okay.
they're clearly look. There's that one Pokemon that's just Mechagodzilla that fights Tyranitar in its Pokedex description,
I'm
and
sorry.
Tyranitar. They're going with since they're going with Dynamaxing. A lot of these Dynamax forms are just kaiju.
That's no surprise, really.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I'm excited to have the kaiju battles that I've been waiting for quite some time.
I want Dynamax fetched.
Uh,
I think his sword would actually pierce the heavens.
Yeah.
I like that.
I wonder what a Gigantamax Snorlax would look like.
I don't think he'd fit.
He probably wouldn't fit, and he would also, to our perspective, just be a ball. You wouldn't be able to see his head or arms anymore. He'd just be a giant lump.
We'll have to see what happens.
I feel. Did you guys also hear, by the way, about Pokemon Sword and Shield? So there are centers where, like in every Pokemon center, there's a computer console where you can just rename your Pokemon, delete, and relearn moves.
I'm sorry. What? Now
Yep.
that is very convenient.
Yeah, that's a lot of faff that they're getting rid of in one fell swoop there.
Just right away, you can just relearn moves, delete moves, easy peasy, no problem.
And they're not charging anything for relearning
Nope.
them.
Huh. Free.
Wow.
No hard scales or anything.
Well, that's just cutting absolutely all of the difficulty out of that aspect then.
I probably would have preferred like a monetary, like not a massive one, just like, hey, it costs, I don't know, 1,000 Pokedollars to swap out a move. Is what I probably would have liked.
It might, but it doesn't cost hard scales. That's.
Yeah, you don't have to farm a stupid item that is only in one place in the game and you don't actually want to deal with to get the thing. Like, you don't have to use fucking Thief on a love disc or whatever the crap it was.
Yeah. Everything I've been hearing about this game lately, they've been making lots of quality of life improvements, and that's great. By the way, experience will be shared between all of the different Pokemon. There's no experience share that you can just turn off. At the same time, however, you will also in the wild area encounter Pokemon that are much higher level than you if you go into the wrong area.
Yeah, if that's a default thing that XP share just happens, I have to assume that they balance the game for that.
Yeah, I believe the reason why they did that was because that way like it's a lot easier to balance the game when you don't have to balance for both options or that's on or off. So yeah, it's like a lot of standard JRPGs now where you just everyone levels at once, which is fine.
Yeah, no one likes having that one party member that is level 20 when you're fighting the God Emperor or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah, and because badges, obviously control up to what level of Pokemon you can control. That's how you can limit somebody from like going into the level 70 Pokemon area and trying to catch one.
Yeah.
So it all works together. And
Yeah.
Hello? Zero?
yeah, can you hear me?
Yes?
The last we heard was it all works together, and
Oh, and sorry, it must have cut out. And it all seems like they're trying to just make everything play well.
Yeah, when they're doing this much of a complete refit, when they're switching to a different platform, yeah, it makes sense to make all of the changes to improve quality of life for the game. That
Yeah.
I
yeah,
really hope that it doesn't come at the expense of making the game rightfully difficult in the right places and the story and such.
mm. Well, apparently they're doing the 16 gyms thing again that they did in Gold and Silver. So
Really now, well,
I don't know for certain on that. Because
there are apparently 18 gyms, and we know one of them is different between versions.
interesting.
I heard they said that wasn't actually the case.
Oh,
Well, we'll have to wait and see. It's not going to be much longer before it
Yeah,
happens.
because they claimed that Pokemon Sword and Shield will not have 18 gyms, um, or that, but I don't know, because I just heard. I found another article 3 years ago. Pokemon Sword and Shield will have 18 gyms. So
we're not sure. We'll have to see where it goes. But if they do that again, I would be quite happy because that means the game continues for quite a while, and
Yeah,
hopefully scales up in difficulty somewhat as you go through.
yeah, there are. In, I would appreciate that. Just once you've completed everything, or rather, there never stops being an area where you're fighting something or someone that's on your level, no matter how far you get into the game. That would be nice.
Yeah, just some like end game challenge content would be really really nice for a game that a series that tends to not really cater to that kind of thing.
Uh,
I have faith. Look, the fact that they made it so that the name changing and relearning and deleting moves can all be done at one place that's easily accessible. That shows me that they at least are aware of the areas in which their games have been outdated or lacking, and it shows me that they're trying to improve the experience. So
Mm.
I have faith that it's going to be a good game.
Yeah, I mean that does speak to them improving the team building, which means they would hopefully, scale up the content to match the malleability of teams, so you can make a really good team
Mm-hmm.
that would still be challenged by that kind of content. I would hope.
Yeah, so that's coming out in a few weeks. Also, uh, yeah, you had a rest of your week to do, patient, or do you have
no,
anything else?
I said multiple times that it was just the celebration and the new chapter of this fight. We've just been discussing Pokemon at length
Okay.
again.
It's coming. Like, I feel like we don't really need an excuse in this case. It's happening
Yeah.
on a real system for once.
Yeah. Uh,
Now Coliseum and XD.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, they weren't perfect, no.
They were
But
developed by outside studios, though.
And also, they were on the GameCube, so when I say real system.
I love the GameCube.
So do I.
But you gotta admit it does have the stupid handle.
I'm gonna take it with me wherever I go.
Oh, I love the GameCube. It's so adorable.
It's a very Nintendo console. Their heart was in the right place.
Well, I think that's it, unless anyone has any recommendations. I'm afraid that I do.
Well, Casey, did you do your week?
I'm still here.
I don't think you did.
Would
you like to share with the class?
I was doing the writing thing. Like I say, that's a thing I've been doing. Also, not that much. I've been kind of feeling like garbage for the past 3 weeks or so. Just chest pains. Just probably not serious because it's mostly gone away now. I think it's just I looked it up. Pericarditis or something. It's just swelling, soreness in muscles and stuff. So just kind of gone away. It's fine. What else have I been doing? God of War. I have almost finished the New Game Plus and stuff. That is still way, way easier than the first couple of hours of the first run through was. Because, wow.
Ooh.
I was I kept talking up the puzzle boss fight, puzzle any fight thing in the first couple of hours of that game. And then that went away immediately after I talked about it. And then never really came back. And it's just playing the regular difficulties now, more or less. So,
oof.
That's... I don't know whether that speaks to me getting better at the game or just the content kind of leveling out. It's hard to tell. But, yeah. It's still...
It reminds me of in Breath of the Wild when I started playing on Master Mode, and everything's obviously hits you much, much harder. Enemies regenerate, so fights are initially very difficult, but then you get out, you get your gear, and it's like, oh, I'm just playing Breath of the Wild, but now these enemies heal, and that's kind of just annoying.
Some of the stuff is still more taxing than it was. The challenge parts of the end game challenge parts of the game. You go to specific realms, and one of them is what's it called? An arena thing where you have a specific challenge, kill all the enemies without getting hit once, kind of thing, or defeat 100 enemies in a row without healing or doing any of the other stuff. And that sort of stuff can still be difficult. And alongside the other challenge area that's more of a, hey, you are constantly... There's a timer, basically, going along it. And a bunch of challenging fights, and you have to finish the area or get a bunch of stuff and get out before the timer runs down, kind of thing. All of it's still fun, and those parts are quite a bit more challenging on the hardest difficulty and stuff. So that's nice. That even after the initial challenge of, just having nothing and everything being able to kill you really easily, once that's gone away, there is still a point to doing the highest difficulty, and it doesn't just feel like the regular game. So that's nice.
Well, that's good to hear.
Yeah. What else have I been doing? I watched that Super Eye Patch Wolf video on Yakuza again, and I want to play Yakuza again. One day I will finish that series.
One day I will finish Kiwami 1.
One day I'll finish 0. Both of them. Your time's limited 0. Yeah. I'm trying to think of anything else that I've done. I don't think there's that much, to be honest. Like I say,
it's such a weird thing. Speaking of Yakuza series, I haven't gone back and beaten Yakuza Kiwami because of like one reason. It's because I got really weirdly obsessed with the arena in that game.
Yeah.
And then just like my progress just ground to a halt, and then I was just like, okay, I'm gonna go do something else, and then I never came back.
Yeah, the side activities can really just draw you in, and you forget there is a rest of the game in those games.
Yeah,
it's pretty good. Fucking stock car racing is fucking great.
So many mechanics.
Yeah. You know what? I need to finish that series for one reason and one reason only. What? I need to go through all of the Yakuzas so I can play Yakuza 6 and do the fucking diving minigame, because that looks rad as shit. Fighting sharks, and there's a giant squid that's got his own boss music, and you're finding buried treasure, and anyway, yeah, that's the only, that's basically the only reason. Also, I mean, the characters and story is cool, I guess, but diving minigame. Yeah, so I will be getting back to that once I've finished God of War again and done the Outer Worlds. It got really confusing when both of those games ended up Epic exclusive. I got very confused for a while. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. I'll be doing that at some point when I get around to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, just writing and stuff is the other thing I've been doing. Like, oh, right. My fucking Sanji Quest thing is a thing I've been doing and doing a lot of planning for, because it's going to be going to the North Blue. You know what we know about North Blue in canon? Next to fucking nothing is what we know about North Blue in canon. So, yeah. I've had to... I've been working with someone else that reads my quest and wants to start their own, and will start it in North Blue. We've been putting together a bunch of islands, and I've made a map, like a full map of the North Blue, and filling it out with stuff for people to go and find and things like that. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, that's been fun. And I can't talk about it because it's spoilers. So, yeah, but that's it. That's everything. So, recommendations? Right. It's still October, so we can't really do Patreon because it hasn't Patreon thing yet.
So. Hey, everybody. Just want to say, go play The Outer Worlds, and then on Halloween, I know that some of you out there may think, well, I'll just sit and watch scary movies. Well, maybe you should play the scariest game of all, Luigi's Mansion 3, which is coming out on Halloween.
Give me a break. You say that that's the scariest game.
I'm joking.
Yeah, I mean, Deadly Premonition is already out.
Wow, yeah, you know what? That's pretty terrifying, too.
I mean, they bend backwards at the knees so they can look at you and they can, let me die. And then if they catch you and run down your health, they, like, basically have you forcibly eat them. Like, it's actually kind of creepy.
And, of course, there are other scary games, like Getting Over It.
That is existential terror, and I approve. I don't want to say, it is so weird for me because Luigi's Mansion 3.
Sarah's getting excited.
Okay, so this is gonna be really weird, right? You go into the Luigi's Mansion 3 and They have this mansion. Everything inside is golden, and toads are there. You got Mario. You got a noise. You got Peach. Right. You got the whole posse going to this hotel. It's all golden, and I think back to when I was in middle school, I believe, and I was on the bus, and there was this kid who was just like, "Man, when you beat Luigi's Mansion 1 this many times, you get a key, and you get to go outside of the mansion, and then you get to go and you get to rebuild the mansion into becomes a golden hotel, and then Peach and Mario and Toad and they all show up, and it's a completely different game." And he was making stuff up, but it came true.
That's really weird. Oh god, maybe he does have an uncle who works at Nintendo.
I don't know what, but it, somehow I'm just like, this is just like that one lie that kid told me. I'd have to wonder, did he see the future?
Well, I mean, maybe that was just a common rumor back then. I mean, look at Oris. If there was that rumor circulating in Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald that once the rocket launched a certain number of times, you could go up into space and capture Jirachi or Deoxys. And what did they add in for Oris?
Going into space.
And catching Deoxys.
So I don't know if that was a popular rumor or anything at the time, or if that kid just made that up, or if he saw it online somewhere.
And I mean, not to mention, Super Mario Maker that's just a tribute to just how common the Mario World rock packs were.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I just feel like it's uncanny. And that's why I need to play this game. I need to know. I need to know how far the rabbit hole goes.
You're gonna get to the end of that game, you're gonna get into the final room, and there's gonna be that kid in it, and he's gonna be like, Zero, I told you.
He's gonna be like, do you want the red pill or the blue pill? And I'll be like, give me both. I don't know. Who are you? That you see that kid, he's a glitch in the Matrix.
Was it the same cat? There, I said the quote. Everyone happy? Cool.
Oh, but yeah.
If you're that obsessed, Zero, maybe you should make this your range.
Oh, let me see. Gosh. Oh, dual scream. The Luigi's Man. Okay, I love Luigi's Mansion so much when I was younger. Like, you have no idea. I was like, I want to play Luigi's Mansion. I want to play Luigi's Mansion. And finally, I got a copy for one of my birthdays, but they didn't have the cover because it was a used game. So my little brother took a piece of paper and he drew the cover and he put it in the box, like underneath the plastic. And so I have a Luigi's Mansion box with artwork courtesy of my brother.
And
that's pretty cool.
How good is the art?
This was years ago.
I mean, he said little brother, and I have to imagine Zero was like 8.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking too.
He did his best.
Yeah. Even so, that's a really sweet gesture from a little kid.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm. I never beat Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, which is the sequel. I didn't really like it.
I never played it myself. I only watched Chugga's.
It's a lot less fun to play than Luigi's Mansion 1, particularly because it's on the 3DS. But also because I don't like the way a lot of the character and kind of the setting is in that.
Yeah, I can imagine how just having it separated mission to mission to mission can kind of take away from the horror aspect, whereas in the original, you go back to the laboratory after X number of ghosts, but every key is a new door, and you don't know what.
Yeah,
You don't know what's going on
and
the other side.
the flow of gameplay is very Metroidvania, and in addition, all of the portrait ghosts have their very distinct personalities and dialogue.
Not to,
Whereas yeah,
not to mention the fridge horror of who's the bad guy here?
yeah,
Egad is just capturing these possibly innocent ghosts and turning them into paintings.
none of them are actually causing any harm. The only one that's actually causing any harm is King Boo. Um, but yeah, when you get to the first boss in Luigi's Mansion 2, and it's just like a generic ghost with barely any design actually put into it, that was just kind of annoying. It's just like that's not what I came here for.
Chaga went on and on and on about the very bland enemy.
Yeah, which I never saw Chugga's playthrough for Luigi's Mansion 2, but I feel like I should before I play 3,
I
just so I can
agree.
get a rundown.
Yes. Chaga does make it very entertaining.
2 was that only on 3DS or was that on
Yep.
the Wii U as well? Yeah, I thought as much when you said it got blended up. That screams, hey, we transferred the game to portable to me. Yeah.
It wasn't bad, but
It's
just
mediocre,
Yeah.
in my opinion. Like
You,
it's
you
just kind of average.
well,
Yeah.
I mean, you never beat it, so how far did you get?
Second Mansion.
Well, then, I don't think that's. I mean, that's.
I think a game should be able to grab you before you get to the second mansion. And nothing it was doing was grabbing me.
If you say so. I do highly recommend Chugga's Let's Play that.
Yeah. There's probably a lot of stuff that I missed, or stuff that is really good, but they really don't put forward their best stuff in the beginning, and I think the game kind of suffers for that.
Speaking of Chugga, he's recently started a Let's Play of Super Mario Galaxy 2.
Yeah, I saw that.
People have been asking him for
Hey, everybody.
years.
Ow.
I heard a bit of Sugar Conroy. Oh, we're gonna get copyrighted. Oh no.
Yoda
No.
has paid and one of the videos automatically starts playing. It's not my intention to do that. It is
Pure audio quality right here.
I mean, it came out pretty clearly, in fairness.
It was my intention to do this playlist of Chugga's Let's Play.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
I'll definitely check that out and see if maybe that changes my opinion of the game.
We shall have to see. I mean, his presentation can make a world of difference.
Yeah, I still don't think the game is necessarily for me. Because again, nothing really grabbed me specifically. But I'll definitely give that a look because, hey, Halloween's around the corner. Yay!
Whoa.
I've actually got a pretty good costume this year. I dressed up when I went to the celebration, and I don't think it's an exaggeration to say that I had this costume. And it was pretty simple, incomplete even. Dressed as the Grim Reaper.
Nice.
Yeah.
I have a Spider-Man costume. I'm only using
this isn't from that time that you did the thing, right?
from that one. What thing?
The thing with the stuff in the thing from the thing.
I remember a certain story about a birthday party or something.
Oh yes, when I came in through the back door as Hillbilly Spider-Man and chased my brother around on his 18th birthday, and he ran out into the street, and I chased him there.
This is the
it's
same brother.
It's the same one.
Yeah, I thought as
It's
much.
the same suit I have.
Send pictures.
It's like really buff too.
Well, rather send pictures next time. Because I think this is going on for a bit long enough.
Okay, well, I was kind of okay with Patient opening the episode, but I'm not so keen on him closing it.
Thank you everybody for listening to the Fandom Flux podcast episode.
So no one has any recommendations or anything then?
Other than Player the Worlds.
Yeah. And, yeah.
I haven't had a lot of free time lately.
Diving minigame. You guys, it's great.
Yeah.
Stock car racing. Anyway, yeah. So I guess that's the podcast. Bye, everybody. Patreon, if you feel like it, we do very much appreciate it. Even though we haven't got as much content out recently as I would have liked, but it happens. Schedule conflicts and stuff. We're hopefully gonna have that ironed out by beginning to middle of November. We're still gonna do our best to get stuff out, but stuff is happening. Zero's teaching now, and Slice's job is changing and stuff. So, also Discord, if you want to get in contact with us or through the comments, though they're not reliable because YouTube doesn't always want to send emails because it's shit.
Bye.
That was me biting the hand that feeds us. So, yeah, thanks.
Pay no attention to the crazy man.
Bye, everybody.
I think I'll do a special video for Halloween.
Don't hit a pumpkin with a spoon, or a fork, or a knife, or any kind of cutlery, please.
I don't think he's making any promises.
I'm not going to give away any secrets.
Bye.
He's going to make it a cantaloupe this time, just to fuck with me. He's going to hit a cantaloupe with a spoon.
Bye, everybody.
That's... Okay, that's the confirmation I needed.